Hello, I'm Ali.
And I'm her best friend, Em.
This is She Said, She Said.
Join us for our ritual Wednesday evening glass of wine as we talk about the highs and lows of life as two foreign ladies living in France.
Think of this as the group chat you actually want to be on, where we talk about all the plates we're spinning and occasionally dropping.
We'll also give you the best tips we've learned from over a decade living among the Frenchies.
C'est parti! Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Have you got your beer?
Got my beer.
Go on then, let's see it.
There were no small beers in the fridge.
For those who are listening, Alex has got like a family-sized beer for herself. It's huge. It's very on brand. It looks really nice. You have your beer. Have you seen what I've got? I've got a Eine kleine Meselsweiss.
Wow, that was almost German, Em. Amazing.
No, it wasn't. Really?
No, but if you went to Oktoberfest, everyone would bring you a beer when you said that.
Yeah, because it's full of tourists. So that's the only reason. Damn it. I'll get on Duolingo. I need to learn some German and make an effort, really. There's a reason we do this podcast in English.
I was going to say, maybe we could do one podcast in German and you just repeat. No, you'd like prepare at JBT, prepare words and then just read them out loud and we try to and just make a conversation. That would be so funny.
Just you speaking and then me kind of using my 12-year-old German, which is the last time I studied German, and be like, yeah. That's all I can do.
That already works in like half of the situations.
Yeah. Well, just to bring the lovely listeners into our private German beer conversation, it's Wednesday night. We've made it for another half week.
Yes. 5 kids have been brought to bed.
5 kids have been put to bed. I like it when you do a head count. It makes it sound more impressive.
That's what it's for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But for now, we've got our beers. We're ready.
How was your weekend? How was your beginning of the week?
Weekend was good. It was really sunny in Lyon, so that was so nice. I feel like the sun came back. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Had a good weekend. Lots of sun. A raclette in the sun because we thought it was going to be really bad weather, and then it was nice. We still hung on to our plans of having a raclette with some friends coming over, so we just had it outside on the terrace in the sun, which actually was really fun.
Just if anybody doesn't know, a raclette in France, which is where me and Ali live, it's like a dish where you heat up cheese on a machine, slices of cheese on a machine, and pour it over.
People in Britain not have raclette.
I didn't know what raclette was before I came to France. No.
Really?
Is that shocking?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so shocking. I thought it was an international thing.
No, there's not really any like ski resorts, in England or the UK, really. I don't think.
There aren't any in Germany, and still everyone has raclette. It's a very holiday season, let's have it at Christmas kind of thing, because kids love it, because everyone has their own little, their own little pan that they put into the machine.
Yeah, it's an incredible concept. But if I can use that to very dramatically bring us to our topic today. So today we want to talk about life hacks.
Life hack.
First life hack, if you've not had a raclette, have a raclette.
Have one.
That's
Your
the
life
first
will
one.
be so much better with raclette.
It will. Cheese, ham, potatoes, gherkins, all on one little shovel that you just shovel into your mouth.
Your partner and I would agree on onions. Him and I are the only ones always going back into the kitchen and being like, someone has not cut up an onion for us. I don't get it. We just need our onion.
This situation wasn't smelly enough. I've not made your house stink enough. Let's just throw a few onions on the grill as well. But just a caveat, the hacks, at least the ones I've written down, are probably not going to change your life. Some of them might.
No.
But not so much. I don't know. What about yours?
If it does change someone's life, I would like to know about it. I would rather see it as like, it's a list of, an open list of little tricks. Some are practical, some are funny. And I think we're talking about health. We might talk about some work and parenting. I mean, we obviously have to talk about parenting because parenting is kind of like what we're experts in, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's quite hacky though, isn't it? There's some things that you can really do to cut corners and just make your life a lot easier. definitely.
Yeah, true. Maybe that was a bit far-fetched saying I was an expert. I was more thinking about,
You're an expert.
this theory of having to have done something for 10,000 hours and then you're, like, really good at it.
Oh,
You know
right.
that book? No? There's this book
Yeah.
from Malcolm Gladwell. It's called Outliers, and it's about, people who are, like, outstanding in something, and you just have to do 10,000 hours of something. So I feel like according to that, I'm very much an expert in parenting.
Are you saying your first hack is do something for 10,000 hours to get good at it? Is that
Yeah.
I don't know if that's that hacky. That's put the time in.
But it's true. It's kinda, like, reassuring. It kinda means, if someone is really good at something, it's probably a little bit of talent, but most of it is them doing it for a long time.
That's really true, yeah. Don't
And
beat
then it's
yourself
not
up.
really it's not super fair about parenting because the conditions change all the time. It's not like learning an instrument or something. Those those little children, they change the situation all the time. They grow and they start to speak, and before that, they start to walk, and all of those annoying life stages that make it, throw more challenges at you.
One day you've got a clarinet, the next day you've got a guitar, the next day you've got a flute. You just don't know what instrument you're gonna wake up with. So so what
Okay, life
hit me with
hacks.
your hacks. Hit me with your hacks. I feel like you're gonna change my life today.
First hack, it's a health hack. It's drinking water. It's drinking water. It's like
Big one.
it's for me, it feels like it kinda is the answer to a lot of your problems. You feel tired in the day? Well, drink some water. You have a headache? Drink some water.
Yeah.
It's probably, to be honest, like for me, it works better than sometimes than having a coffee.
Oof, big.
Yeah. I know. So yeah, drink water. Also, those stories that you just do not forget that someone tells you. I remember like one of my friends in uni telling me that her mom worked in a retirement home, and she said women that looked their best, like the nicest skin, were the ones who always hydrated a lot.
1 second. Wait, this is beer. It's not gonna work.
Beer has a lot of water in it.
There's a really good neuroscientist who's called Nicole, and I can't remember her second name, but I'll link it in the show notes. She has a book called Rewired, How to Rewire Your Brain. And she says that the first thing you do in the morning is you should drink a glass of water because you've been asleep for so long that you're already dehydrated. You have to drink a glass of water. And since I've been a grown up, aka probably this year, I've been trying to drink a glass of water before I drink a coffee. It does make you feel better.
It's so organized of you. That is something that I feel like I always want to do but never do.
Yeah, that's a hack.
Well done. Well
Drink a
done.
glass of water when you wake up.
When you wake up, when you feel tired, when you're grumpy,
Yeah,
drink a
you're
glass of water.
referring to a story where my partner was like, um, "Have you drunk any water today?" I was like, "Oh, no." He was like, "Do you wanna drink a glass of water?" I was like, Fine." Trying to puppet master. Um, and he was like, "Yeah, you're being a bit grumpy." And I did drink a glass of water and I did feel better. So which
You
was
feel
really
annoyed
annoying.
at him. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt pretty annoyed until I drunk the water and then I felt fine.
Ha! Wow. That is so cool of him to figure that out.
Crazy. So, first tip, drink a glass of water.
Drink a glass of water. Yeah.
It does remind me, sorry, I'm going off on tangents now, but it's just really randomly reminded me, like talking about health and different things that you should and shouldn't do. You telling me a story about eating yellow salt when you were a kid, and then then it wasn't yellow salt. Would you care to share that story? Because even just thinking about it makes me laugh. It's so good.
I don't know, we used to always have that yellow salt in our kitchen, right? It just made everything yum, and my sister and I usually we had some cucumber with our in Germany in the evenings, you'll have bread for dinner. Usually you have bread and, I don't know, ham, and you can just make your own little sandwich, and usually you have some cut up vegetables or something like that, and so we'd always have cucumber because we really like cucumber, and to make it a little bit more interesting, we would always just put yellow salt on it. My mom would call it yellow salt. And we like I think when I was like a young adult, I figured out it was just like pure MSG.
MSG that you just find in all bad food. So your mum was just
Yeah.
letting you. Sorry, Ellie's mum. She's a brilliant mum. It was the 90s. Just sprinkling MSG on cucumber for dinner. Yum.
We almost covered it in yellow salt. Like, my sister and I would just always say, "Give me the yellow salt. I need more yellow salt on my cucumber." So, yeah, it's definitely not a life hack. It's keep yellow salt out of your life is my life hack.
Second life hack is don't eat MSG from a young age. I have a food related one actually that I did want to say though. Quite simple, but always keep wraps in the fridge because you can put anything in a wrap, like a tortilla wrap. If you just need to get rid of whatever's in your fridge, do a bit of a clear out, put it on in a wrap, roll it
Yeah,
up, eat
yeah,
it. All
true.
good.
My husband would very much second that. He, like, even puts pasta into a wrap. But you
Okay.
know how he does controversial things when it's about food?
Yeah. Doesn't he eat loads of eggs in on car journeys? Is that him?
I think it's a German thing. They hard boil eggs. They hard boil eggs and then eat them in front of you. Yeah. Think I might have to give up my nationality or something, my passports, the day that I do that.
You might want to distance yourself from that a little bit.
Very
Somewhere.
much distancing myself from the eggs. Every time we're gonna have a car journey, he's like, "What about some boiled eggs?" He just does it to annoy me.
I don't know if we should add that to our hacks, to be honest.
No, not a
It's just
hack. Maybe we should have done a hack and not a hack list.
one other thing that I wanted to mention, not food
Yeah,
related,
yeah.
or that related to anything. And I've started doing it recently because I am like a scatterbrain. I just can't remember anything, always leave stuff everywhere. Used to lose my phone all the time when I was a teenager, left it in a club in Berlin. Someone posted it back to me. So my remedy for this is saying
Yeah.
things out loud. So for example, I want to make sure I've left my straighteners off when I leave the house. I'll say out loud, I'm turning my straighteners off. I want to make sure I don't forget my keys. I'm putting my keys in my bag. I'm putting my work badge in my bag.
Do you do that when other people are around?
Yes, only close friends and family. But it works.
I feel like I'm a little bit sad I haven't heard that yet because it's very funny. It's a little bit odd and also super interesting. I'm gonna try it.
Also kind of genius now. That's what a hack is. Bit weird, bit genius.
Yeah. At least 70% genius.
Thank you. Um, so we've talked about food, little
Yeah.
tangent there as well. What about work? What are your hacks for being like a productive boss, babe? Because you are one of those. So tell me what it is.
The thing is I'm not that productive. I'm an expert here. Shout out to my 10,000 hours of doing something at procrastination. So if I don't absolutely have to do something and I don't have a deadline, I usually don't do it. But I quite regularly try things to make me procrastinate less. And one of them is microtasking, which kind of is just breaking down whatever you have to do into tiny tasks and then
Okay.
give yourself 5 minutes to finish it.
Okay. So do you have an example of this? What are we talking?
For example, so I had to record some samples for this recording studio, okay?
You're a voiceover artist, so you
I'm
record your
yeah,
voice,
yes.
your beautiful
So
voice.
they my beautiful voice. So I had to do that and I didn't really feel like it and I know that sometimes you need a lot of takes and everything. And so I microtasked it down to at least warming up my voice. So then I had to like break it down into things. So and then um just had like a little to-do list, not just like send those samples, but be like, okay, warm up my voice, do some tests, and then, then I wanted to do a little edit. And so yeah, broke it down into several tasks so that it felt like it was something I was allowed to do over the course of the whole morning.
That's good. I like that. So then you actually get a little like that little shot of dopamine for like ticking something off your list, but it's a
Yeah.
micro thing.
Crossing it through. I don't take it off, I cross it through. I was like, I'm actually gonna show you because it's here. It goes
Oh
like
yeah,
this.
a
It
few
gives it
times on that one.
at least 1, 2, 3 usually because I'm like, that is done.
Love it. I kind of do the same, I would say. My hack or my tip is just being really realistic about what you can do in the time that you have. Because I feel like everyone overestimates what they can do in a day, but not what they can do in a week, a month, a year. So
Mm.
I actually started very recently planning my day, but in terms of like, okay, 9 till 10, I will reply to all of my emails from the night before. 9:30 till 10:30, I'll prepare for the meeting that I have at 10, 10 till 10:30, like really incrementing the day like that. And then
I like that.
if it shifts, I shift it as well. So I suppose it's
Hmm.
not quite microtasking, so I'm not breaking things down like super small,
Yeah.
but it's just being kind of like really realistic. And when you break it down like that, you'll realize that there are some things you actually on your list that you can't get done in the day,
Yeah.
but then it's okay, you do them the next day and you can prioritize as well.
Has something really reassuring. Sounds so grown up of you. Did
Really
someone
good,
tell
yeah.
you that? Did you read it in a book? I mean, did you see it in an Insta story? Or like, how'd you get that idea?
I think I heard it on a podcast. I think it was a productivity podcast, but I can't remember which one. And I remember thinking, I'm going to give it a try. And it's really good because you don't get the guilt of, oh, I didn't finish my to-do list. Because
Yeah.
your to-do list can be like the longest thing in the world, right? And who can finish their to-do list in a day? Who
Mine's not
can?
finished.
You can't, and that's fine. But then if you break it down into time schedules and you can
Hmm.
shift it, if your meeting runs over or if, you took longer on something a bit more creative than you needed to. And then I'm like a massive procrastinator. So if I say to myself, okay, think of ideas for she said
Hmm.
from 3 till 4, I'll do that. Then
Hmm.
it's like you've just got this 1 hour. So, get to it. That's your time to do it. So it helps.
So good. I should try that. Okay.
Give it a try. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
As if you want to try,
I probably should be drinking a lot of water while I'm doing it.
you should have some kind of automatic water dispenser, like a hamster.
One of those hats. One of the
Yes.
beer hats.
One thing that I think probably everybody knows, so maybe it's not a hack, but has absolutely saved my life on some moments, is using the function that restores a tab that you just closed, so you can just get it back. So yeah, so you're working on something and you lose it and you're like, oh no, I can't remember what website I was on, or you really
Yeah.
needed it. So
Yeah.
it's control for Windows or command for Mac, and shift and T. And then those three things just bring the tab you're on back up. And it has saved myself so many times.
Okay, good to know. Don't think I've ever used that. I usually would go like very, old school of me. I go into the history of my browser and then tabs I've recently closed and to go back to it. But okay, cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
boomer.
That's why sometimes I love working with like older people, just a little bit older than I am, because you
Yeah.
just feel like you're so tech savvy at that point, right?
Are you thinking of the same person that I'm thinking of?
I'm just thinking about telling someone being like control, I don't know, what is it? Control F and people don't know that. I'm like, how do you even work or live? Like that's not an option. You can't not know that. But who are you thinking about?
I was thinking of someone that we used to work with. I'm going to be really careful not to say their name, because me and Ali used to work at an international news station together, and it was I don't know whether to say the nationality or not. No, I won't. It was an older journalist.
Very nice one.
Okay, you know who I'm thinking, you know who I'm talking about. Super nice, so cool. But one of our friends was messaging us on whatever the Teams of the time was, and was like, "Oh my god, X is using his mouse upside down." We were like, "What? Down? What?" And she was like, "Go and look at them. They are using their mouse upside down."
Mm,
Little investigation ensued, and we both went and had a little look, and he'd turned his mouse the other way
yeah, he
around.
like
God.
clicks with his palms, doesn't he? He's like click, click, click,
I
right?
sincerely hope he's not still doing it for him,
Oh
for
no,
his own
but
sake.
like I mean, I don't know today. I don't know if you're still working with them, but definitely like months and months or even years after we had that first conversation, he came down and was working on my computer and turned around my mouse to be using it. And what is so confusing is that you have your cursor go the other way, It's just like everything is mirrored, so it doesn't it's very confusing.
My mind, it blows my mind.
Maybe it's a life hack to train those life hacks where you're supposed to like use your left hand to do stuff so that your brain is more trained on the right side. Do you think it's one of those hacks?
Patting your head and rubbing your tummy to kind of keep
Yeah.
your neurons firing.
Yeah, or even just like trying to do something you usually do with your right hand with your left hand so that your right part of your brain doesn't underdevelop.
Maybe, but it does sound it I mean, it makes your life really hard turning your mouse around and clicking with your palm rather than your fingers. I mean, that's a very ergonomic design. It's like the opposite of a hat. Oh my god. Fun times.
Oh my god.
I think we've covered work. We've
We've covered
established
work.
we're boss bitches. What about the other side of yourself that we hinted at before? You're a hostess with the mostess. You're tradwife side. Lay it on me.
Well, I'm only thinking about this because I told you the other day and when you were at my house and you were so mind blown by it. You know, when I was cutting up garlic, and I think you said something about being really smelly on your fingers or something like that. And I was like, yeah, but like everyone knows you just rub your fingers on steel and then it's gone. Like it doesn't smell.
Yes, you blew my mind again.
Yeah, it's like the raclette. I can't believe people don't know that.
So to share this pearl of wisdom with everyone that I learnt the other day from Ali, very appropriately. So if you're cutting garlic and your fingers get stinky, you rub it on steel. So obviously not like the blade of a knife, but like I don't know, yeah, we use like the side of a knife, right? The flat part. And it just goes away, like miraculously goes away. I'm no idea what the science
Yeah.
behind that is.
I think it works with other smells as well. There is some science behind it. Let's just say it is bigger than our podcast, but it exists.
Yeah, that is a really, really good hack. And you also told me a really good one, actually. Now we're on a roll about sleep, going back to sleep.
Yes. Make sure you're not awake more than a minute. Otherwise, it's difficult to fall back asleep. Just like very, very much tell yourself, okay, going back to sleep. And I don't know if it's like counting sheep or I think you're supposed to count back in like threes, like, I don't know, does something with your brain so that you kind of like defocus on everything else and you just go back to sleep. So don't let any intrusive thoughts get into your head. You have to be like very, very harsh with your thoughts.
That's a good tip because I always pick my phone up, which is
No.
probably the worst thing you could do.
No, no blue light in your brain, in your eyes, nothing
No.
of it. You need an old school clock somewhere if you wanna know what time it but even to be honest, what does it help you to know the time at that point?
Yeah, true. That's very true. Okay, so I need to go back to sleep. It's
What
quite
does it?
stressful though to go
Yes.
back to sleep in 1 minute.
Well,
But I'll try.
don't think about the minute, just be like, "Okay, I'm not looking at the clock, I'm not looking at my phone, I'm just going back to sleep."
Was this like a fresh your tip that you've found?
Um,
Original
yeah, I
tip.
think so. I mean, if anyone listening read it somewhere else, maybe I've made it mine, but I really feel like I've deducted it from other information I had. So there you go. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for that pearl of wisdom. I have another one that's kind of related, just the kind of making life simpler. The example I have is with kids, but it can work with anything.
Mhm.
So if you now I'm thinking about it, it's really, really simple and stupid. But if you need something a lot, just buy loads of it and leave it everywhere. So to break it down, nail clippers. There's very small windows when I can cut my quite like feisty kids' nails to keep them
Right.
short. So
Yeah.
I'd say I've maybe got 5 or 6 pairs of nail clippers, and I've got them in the bathroom, in my bedroom, in the kitchen, in the living room, upstairs. I suppose
Okay.
it could work with
Yeah.
tampons as well, for example, sun
Yes, that's a good
cream,
one. Yeah.
sun hat, anything sun related, lip
Lip
balm.
balm. Oh,
Yes.
you're so connected.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a hack, but works for me.
Yeah, your lips look beautifully hydrated.
Thank you. My children's nails, very short.
Yeah, they must have nails that grow very quickly for you to have such a big need for nail clippers.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Maybe I should just loosen up. I'm gonna roll now. This is probably one of the last ones I have, to be honest, because I just thought about it because I just booked flights to go home yesterday for Christmas back to the UK, which turns out very expensive around Christmas time to fly from France to the UK. What has happened this year is I normally like to leave it as late as possible, so it's as expensive as possible, and then I feel as bad about myself as possible. But this year, I thought, no, I will book it as early as possible. Still pretty expensive, but to make it less expensive, I did use a VPN because I'd been kind of Googling all the best flights, looking at all the different airports from Lyon to the UK, like Manchester, London, Birmingham, all of those. And I won't name a company, but the bastards, they've clocked that you're looking at them and they put the prices up So then I put a VPN on my computer,
Yeah.
and they went back down. They went back down to the original price of like 4 days before. So that is a good hack. So
That's a good hack.
yeah, even if you can't if it's a bit complicated to put a VPN on, you can just use a different computer. Like do it at work or do it at home, and it will be different prices. Scam the system.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind next time I'm booking anything. I feel like we probably have a couple of really good ones on parenting since it's a difficult life out there as a parent.
It's a desert. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive. My first tip is get a friend who's had kids before you, aka you, and just do whatever they do and ask them what to do.
Oh,
That's my tip about having
it's true that I'm like kind of like doing a lot of trial and error.
you up.
Um, since I've had my kids first and then made sure to have more kids so that, there'd be plenty of kids to play with your kids.
Appreciate that.
Okay, but that's cool. That's a good hack. Okay, get yourself a mom friend. Also, just
Yeah.
parenting with your friends is so much easier, isn't it? You just kind of like laugh stuff off, and sometimes you just need a friend like this morning, like you just be like, "Oh, had a rough morning. I hear ya." Just instantly feel better.
That's actually some advice you gave to me, and I think you gave it to my boyfriend as well. It was just like, I'm gonna ruin it now. It was like, just listen or just show that you've heard them and be understanding. Just kind of basically acknowledge that someone's told you something. And it sounds really simple, but giving advice straight off the bat or, reacting in a way that kind of makes it sound like it's their fault is not the way to go. And you do this and it's really good. You just kind of say, "Man, that's rubbish. That must have been really hard. I can really understand
Yeah.
why you feel that way."
I feel like I've read a couple of parenting books. I mean, even if I haven't read them from beginning to end, but some of them are really just more or less advice on any relationship. Is usually, the kind of advice you get for your kids is just holds true with romantic relationships and for all of your friends. Don't have to problem solve all the time. Just
Yeah.
have to listen.
That's the best. I think that's the best hack in this whole episode, honestly. It's so simple, but it's just that, make someone feel seen. Just say, "Yeah, that must have been really hard," or, "I can see why you're feeling scared." It's so
Yeah, it helps.
simple, but it does and it sounds so simple, but when someone does it to you, like, "Yeah, it's really hard," or, "Yeah, I do feel really scared."
Yeah. I remember, yeah, first therapy I went to, they did that, and I was a bit like, "Oh, this makes me feel so good."
Yeah. Maybe we could just become therapists and charge people loads of money for sessions. That must be so hard.
Wow. Wow, I cannot imagine. Wow. Well done for getting through that situation.
Perfect. Here's your degree. But we digress. To go back to parenting, I do have an incredible tip. It's not going to change anyone's life, but it's to do with, pots of bubbles. Because every time you give them a pot of bubbles, they tip it over and then there's no more bubbles. And it's a vicious cycle. So my tip is to use just sellotape or masking tape or whatever and tape it to like a chair leg, a table leg, anything like that. So then they can dip and not tip.
I feel like you need to give credit to someone here because I've heard that from someone else.
It was my mother. I just want to feel like I've got my own ideas sometimes. She gets way too many shout outs on this podcast. She's going to get a big head.
She'll be so happy. I get so much feedback from her every week. Love it. Hey,
Yeah.
Jane.
Do you have any parenting tips you want to impart?
I think my most important one, although I'm not, great at it every single day, is really, may have said it before on this podcast, but it really is just embracing the chaos. Just be like, that's just what it is. It's chaos and it's okay that it is. My house usually is it's not like dirty or anything. We do have someone
No.
helping us clean, but it's quite messy. I don't clean up after my kids. I don't very little tell my kids to clean after themselves. Then usually just like once a day be like, okay, if you want to watch TV, everyone has to clean up and then stuff gets done. That is one of the other hacks. Keep all of the things you need doing for before they are asking for their screen time. I really, really do not care about a clean house or a clean kitchen, or I usually cook and everything's everywhere. And yeah, I'm annoyed that I have to clean up at some point, but I'll still do it. Like, I'm not going to get better at just cleaning up after myself little by little or cleaning up after my children because they will just make it messy again. And that's going to frustrate me. And I also just have to accept that, that they fight so much, then just tell myself, like, you know, they'll have great problem solution skills, like skills to get out of any type of conflict.
Yeah. And if they ever want to become boxers, then they've trained from an early age as well.
I think that's my number one parenting hack. Just don't try to be like someone else. Just live in the moment. The chaos is real. It's not going to go anywhere.
That's the number one life hack, I think. Isn't it what Mel Robbins, the super podcaster, says? She has that theory of let them, doesn't she?
My sister told me about this.
Yeah.
I know you're going to say that now. Yeah, it's so fun. Go ahead, explain it.
Yeah, it's just basically like saying to people, kind of let them. I think it's kind of similar to stoicism and that kind of thing. It's just kind of focusing on what you can control and just accepting what you can't.
Yeah. But you're again a bit like you with like plugging your straighteners and stuff. You're supposed to say it out loud to yourself, right? No?
Yeah.
Right. Let them.
Yeah.
Let them.
What's in your control?
Okay. Share your wisdom, girl.
Share that wisdom. So we're so wise. Think about all the gems we've imparted in this 30 minutes.
Oh
I
my
would
God.
like to say
that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough, definitely. If the listeners have any though, send them to us. We can do a round 2.
I need more life hacks in my life. I haven't hacked the shit out of my life yet, so
yeah, actually, tell us how to change our lives, please. Well, that'll be for another time. But It was lovely to catch up. And
it was.
Hope you had a good day embracing your chaos.
I did. I'll embrace my bed pillow now.
Embrace your bed very hard. And thank you for joining us, lovely listeners. I hope maybe there were some nuggets in there, who knows? But if not, we hope you had a nice time having our Wednesday evening beer with us this time.
Exactly. We hope to hear from you on social media.
Yeah.
And have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Ali.
Bye.